1411. Share to a group. Soulogy. Star seed. Divine source. Light warriors. Spiritual wonderland. Boom. All right, we got 4 people in the house. Today's spirit walk is called a walk in the park. How's it going, everybody? What we got here? Dr. Joe's in the house. Irina, Ann, and Fredrickson. Yeah. Randy Mahatma. What's happening, everybody? What's going on the 23rd of July in the Northern Hemisphere? It's a powerful, powerful day. Anyway. Yeah. Raven. Yeah, today's spirit walk is, look at that, butterflies. Man, the universe is speaking to us in every moment. Every fucking moment, man. I've been up since 2 o'clock working. Went to bed at 9 p.m. Got up at 2. We're going to announce the Soulogy Fest today. It's going to be a kick-ass time. We're going to have at least 500 people there. 72 hours of stage time. Workshops. We're going to have an interactive tent. Accommodations for kids. Alcohol and drug free. Welcome, Ireland. Hey, Kim Atkins. A lot of old friends here. So, yeah, today's spirit walk is entitled A Walk in the Park. What does that mean? It means that for all this time and all the disclosure and all the conspiracies that were true and all the bullshit and the drama and the projection and everything, we know what we're dealing with now, don't we? Don't we all know what we're dealing with? Don't we, Kelly Bird? Look at her. Brave sister. Everybody here is brave. So the reason I entitled it A Walk in the Park is because from this point forward, life can be a walk in the park. Or it can be a pain in the ass. A traumatic event full of suffering and pain. You know, we are gods and goddesses. It's no more bullshit. It's time to own it. And if you don't want to own it, that's okay. You know, because we have a choice here. We're coming into the home stretch of a cycle of cycles coming to an end, to a new beginning. And I can promise you one thing, nobody really knows anything. Nobody really has, you know, the answers with any, you know, finality. But what I believe, what I think probably everybody would at least have to be open to, is that wherever we are at energetically, when this cycle of cycles ends, we're going to pick right up where we left off as the next one begins. You know, to some degree or another. If we got unresolved stuff, we're going to have to resolve it. And I believe that we are swimming in a paradoxical, inverted kind of scenario here, where we think we're in this dense, harsh, heavy, inhumane environment where war dominates and all this other bullshit. And it's actually not true. It's actually just all these belief systems and ideas that we picked up over the years that have formulated this shared collective experience that we're having. Every day can be a walk in the park. Every single day can be a walk in the park based on our attitude and the thoughts that we carry forward. And as we do that each and every day, as we've been doing it, then the momentum builds, the trajectory takes a firmer hold, and we start to have what we've always had, heaven on earth. You know, we came down here to feel stuff. We came down here to feel the pain, feel the suffering, you know, feel the trauma. We did. This is what we came for. But now we've got all that information and all that code, and we've provided it for the universal. That's our gift as human beings. And we provide it for ourselves. And now we have reached a point, a level of awareness where we have a choice how this day will go, how this moment will go, how this next interaction with another human being will go. It's time to get out of the shadows. We have figured out that the shadows are where the gold is, and we can go into the shadow and can pick it out with surgical precision, and we can convert it and transform it, which really isn't nothing more than seeing it for what it is and having a different perspective on it. It's time to play. It's time to have some fun. It's time to unwind. It's time to co-create and collaborate. That's what it's all about. It's time to love and live. It's the same damn thing, right? You know? So, it's a walk in the park. It absolutely is a walk in the park. We've never been in any danger. We're not in any danger now. We're not. No one's out to get us. There are no victims, but the one that's in our own head. There are no perpetrators, but the one that's in our own head, you know? And we can either feed this monster that we all created, this beautiful, perfect design, this divine orchestration, or we can, you know, enjoy with as much ease and grace and magic and miracles as we head down the home stretch. We're in the home stretch. This last 12,000, 15,000 years has been the home stretch, you know? I'm talking about the Anunnaki coming in here and, you know, on the narrative, in the play, in the movie script, you know, having their way with our women, killing our men. Hey, it's all a movie. It's like a cartoon. It was information that we made ourselves so insulated that we thought it was all true. And that was the point of the whole thing, was to believe it was true so we could experience it as if it were, and gain code from it, and gain an expansion from it for ourselves and for the universe. But that's over now. So we can swim in those waters if we want to, or we can get out here and we can make, you know, we can make it this a more spectacular, beautiful thing, magical thing. That's what we've been trying to do at Soulogy for 12 years. And God damn it, we're doing it. And we're doing it right now. We're doing it every day. And it ain't about me, and it ain't about no other individual person. It's about every single person. I've been hearing for 12 years that everybody's in Soulogy, even if you don't like, even if you don't want to be, even if you don't know it. Everyone is under that tent. Soulogy is just another name for the Holy Spirit. It's just another name for the third energy. It's another name for the Mother and the Father and the Triad. That's right. So we got our first show with collaborators and co-creators. Came out yesterday. It's called Seamless. We got more shows coming on this week and next week. Dr. Joe's going to have a show, and oh God, my brain's gone because I've been up since 2 o'clock working. Who else has got shows? Lisa Nicole out of New York City. Ashley Lee out of San Diego. Kate Lumley out of Houston, Texas. By God, there's a whole bunch of them. There's about 40 of them, and I can't think of any of them right now. So we're going to just create this network, and it's going to be, no one's going to do it for anybody else. People are just going to go in and plug in. I'm working on the schedule today. They're going to go in and block their time out, and we're going to create just a multi-stream, a universal cast with many, many shows of people expressing themselves and putting forward their own talents and their skills and abilities and their sacred wisdom and their experiences and whatever they want to talk about, you know? And we're just going to keep building it. And the Soulogy Fest is going to be the same way. You know, everybody is a star. That's the theme of the Soulogy Fest. Everybody is a star. That means we don't have any keynote speakers. That means whoever comes, whoever shows up, they're a performer and they're a presenter. So I'm going to pull the trigger on that a little bit later today. And, you know, typical Soulogy style. It ain't going to be super polished and professional, but the message will be there. I've already got it set up. I just haven't released the page publicly. I got a couple of things I need to do and a couple of people I need to check with, but it's going out today because I ain't waiting any longer. Ain't no way. Hell no. We got almost 5 months before it starts. We're going to have the 30-acre facility is going to be at our disposal from November the 11th. So we're going to have 30 days to fix this place up. So anyone that's going to be in the Houston area or around the Houston area that wants to come down for a weekend, we're going to fix this place up. We're going to make it look like, you know, like a wonderland. We got people coming in from all over the world. Kristen Van Basset's coming from Norway. Samantha Rodriguez is coming from Mexico. We got a few people coming from Canada already. And we haven't even sold a ticket yet. But people are coming, and we're going to make this thing happen. And it's going to be a once-in-a-lifetime deal. There's no mistake that this is the third Soulogy Fest. And, you know, we all know what happens with that number 3. Jana Kozar and her beautiful husband, Constantine, are going to be there. Are you going to be there? Jill Butler and Sarah Jane. She's coming from the UK. She's damn right she's coming. She says, I'd love to come. Well, you're coming. You know? This is how we build this new earth. We don't build it by sitting around hypothecating, theorizing a bunch of bullshit and transmissions and downloads. That stuff served us. It got us to this point. Now's the time to apply it. Now's the time, you know, people talk about embodiment. They talk about that. You know, I talk about it. It's time to just be spontaneous, intuitive, creative, imaginative, and courageous. All the virtues of the I Am Soul. Yeah, that's what it takes now. I mean, and if it doesn't, and if I'm wrong, you know, it's a hell of a way to have a good time if you are wrong, you know, because I'm tired of talking about it. I'm tired of going on YouTube and Facebook and watching these stupid-ass videos with all this fear-mongering, feeding the monster bullshit. I want to know what's going on with you. I want to know what makes you tick. I want to know about your experiences. Hell, I talked to a sister yesterday. People think they got problems. Shit. You know? This sister, until the age of 14 years old, you hear about this Illuminati stuff and you hear about this sex magic and sex slavery. This sister, she was a sex slave to these elites until 14 years old. You know, she told me this like it was past the butter, Todd. She had a smile on her face, didn't bother her a bit. You know her, and we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about this. People think they got problems, people think they've been victimized. And here I am talking to a beautiful sister who since the age of 0 had been on a regular basis, been a sex slave for the elites till 14 years old. And she's told me that story with a smile on her face, and it just came up in the context of the conversation. There was no victimization, nothing. You think you're a victim? You think you've suffered more than other people? Bullshit. The truth is, all of our pain is exactly the same in proportion to our life experience. And that's not just including this life. That's what we got to remember. We know that we're unlocking trauma from many, many incarnations. And I'm unlocking your trauma and you're unlocking mine. Because we're from a beehive intelligence. You know what I mean? That's the way it works. What happens to you happens to me. So there is no more comparison. There's no necessary competition that needs to be had because we're all the same. We're coming from a beehive intelligence and we just forgot about that. That's all. And it's okay. There's no judgment. That's why we can talk about these stories now. We can get past the point of embarrassment. We can share our experiences and our stories and our doubts and our fears and our insecurities and all these things. We can do that. We can do that. We can do this because we can sit with each other and we can bear witness. Do you know how important it is to bear witness? You know what that means? That's beyond holding space. Bearing witness is sitting before somebody without judgment. Without judgment. And let me tell you something I learned the other day from one of the guests. Judgment's got nothing to do with right and wrong. Nothing. Judgment is judgment. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to bear witness. And you're going to bear witness. And I think that's what we've done a lot on the show. People bearing witness, you know? And there's a fantastic, amazing thing that happens when we bear witness. There's a load that's lifted out of us. I told this story on the show about 2-3 days ago. I sat down with my mother. We got reunited, reacquainted, reunified, just like the whole world's getting reunified. If we just get the fuck out of our way, it can happen. Get out of judgment. Get into 100% compassion. So I'm sitting down with her at her apartment, and we started talking about the past right before we split, you know, a number of years ago. And in that conversation, I started telling her about what had happened during this time where we had our split. And she didn't know the things that I had experienced and the things that had gone on around me. She did not know these details. And I found myself telling her about these details. And something happened. My heart just started exploding, like a sparkler. Like, you know, when you have fireworks. I mean, it just started flowing, and my chakra channels just started screaming, and my crown started going crazy. I felt like a fountain. And I realized that she had bore witness for me. Who better to bear witness than your mother, right? Or your lover, right? You know, somebody really close to you, child, mother, father, partner. But you know, it taught me something amazing. It gave me wisdom. It gave me energy. It gave me power. It gave me an expanded love. It made me realize the value of bearing witness. You know, they talk about the watchers, right? And you know, everything has a good connotation and a bad connotation. But I can promise you one thing. There may only be one watcher up there, or there may be a multitude of watchers up there. And we may be watchers when they come down into incarnations and we watch them. But I'll tell you something. They're learning something from us. They're learning something from us. They're witnessing us. They're seeing us without any filters. They're seeing us without any bullshit, without any mask on. They know every thought we have. They know everything we've ever done, which is what I was told when I went homeless 12 years ago, that the world will know every single thing you've ever done, but it works for everybody. So imagine that. Imagine being on an even playing field where everybody knows all the dirty little secrets. Everything, right? And what would that do? Oh, you did this and you did that and I did this and I did that. We get past that so quickly because everybody would realize we were all susceptible to the same thing, that we were all experiencing the same thing. And even though your dirty little secret or my dirty little secret might not look the same on the surface, the fact is they are exactly the same because they were things that occurred in the moment by whatever means or dynamics or stresses or traumas or whatever the case was or whatever reason that we had or rationale, okay? But the bottom line is we walked away from it and we didn't let it go. We went, oh, I'm going to hide that over here in my pancreas, and I'm going to hide this over here in my liver, or I'm going to hide this in another part of my body so nobody ever finds out about it, right? And we're going to find out like somebody takes a big eraser and they just swipe the chalkboard clean because it didn't mean shit, you know? It didn't mean nothing, right? So, yeah, bearing witness. It's a good thing. It's a positive thing. To me, it's way beyond holding space. Holding space sounds like there's a fucking victim here. There's no victims here. The victimhood thing is gone. It is over. You know, people have been prophesizing that for this month, okay? They've been talking about victimhood. Jason Estes was talking about that. Morgan Lee talking about victim consciousness is leaving and perpetrators are leaving. Yeah, hey, let's get on with it. Let's get on with this stuff. We don't need some kind of magic wand to tell us that these things are gone now. We can do it right here in our head. You know, this is what's happening. This is the year of self-empowerment. This is the year that we make it happen right now. We don't need to wait for some magical date. We don't need to wait for Lionsgate. We don't need to wait for shit. We can do it right now in this moment We can take our power back right this moment. We are bigger than this body, but this body houses us at this moment, at least in the physical from what we can see. But we have a whole toroidal field around us. We have a huge, massive, massive space. We're tall, giant beings, you know. We can travel all over the world. We can travel all over the universe. This world ain't got nothing on us. Don't let anything in this world hold you back. Nothing. Don't be a prisoner to anything in this world. I'm talking about taxes. I'm talking about police officers. I'm talking about lawless laws, ruleless rules, passports, borders. Fuck that shit, okay? We are souls. We are eternal souls. We are infinite beings. And that's a fact, okay? That's a fact. And the more that we engage that, and the more we show ourselves and the universe and each other that we're not afraid, and that we will take action, and that we will defy these illusionary impediments that stand before us in our power, the more it will grow. And the more other people will pick up on that contagious energy that is the I Am Soul. And that's a fact. It is. We are much bigger than our bodies. Damn right we are. 55 people in the house, that's a master number. But we don't need to wait on these dates anymore. We don't need to do that. We're big boys and girls. We create our destiny in the moment. Yeah. So, anyway, that's what happens when you get up at 2 o'clock and start working like a madman. Then you go off. But you know, I always speak from my heart. I'm just like everybody else. You know, I have good days, bad days, good hours, bad hours. You know, some things work, some things don't. But there's one thing, I don't care how the words come out with me or anybody else. I don't care how the actions come out with me or anybody else. It's the intention. If you think about the acts that create our lives, they've been acts of love. And what's another word for love? Fear. Okay? Fact. All right? Let me tell you something else too. Nobody, ain't not one person on the face of this earth that's ever lived on this earth, and that includes me and every one of you, that's going to be able to get to the end and say, I told you so. Get over it. Okay? One thing I like about the Soulogy Network, and it's probably going to change, is nobody can put any comments up. You know, I go through these posts on Facebook and social media, and everybody's got something to say like they're a fucking expert. Well, none of us are fucking experts. We're in the perfect imperfection. Don't you understand? We're here to be imperfect. We don't have to prove anything to anybody. You think you know something that nobody else knows? Who are you, Jesus? I don't think so. Not in this incarnation. We're not meant to be at full Christ consciousness yet, okay? But I can promise you something else too. Everybody's going to get there. Nobody's going to be left behind. And we're going to relish. We're going to relish the earth, and we're going to relish the earth experiences. We're going to relish the pain and the suffering and the trauma. We're going to, when we see the end, when we see the light at the end of the tunnel, we're going to be hitting the brakes. We're going to be like like when you go to Disneyland or something. Well, fuck Disneyland. When you go to the state fair and you go like on some ride, like some roller coaster that's all over the place, and some of it makes you laugh, and some of it makes you cry, and some of it makes you shit in your pants, and you're going to see the light at the end of the tunnel, and you're going to be like, we're going to be pushing the brakes saying, man, I don't want this over yet. I don't want this over yet. And the only saving grace will be that we'll be getting on another ride right after that. Everybody is 100% soul. Everybody has unlimited potential to tap into their heart, soul, mind, spirit, body. It's all the same thing. It's all the same thing. Everything you're looking at is the same thing. There is no AI. Everything's the same thing. Everything's the same God, goddess particle. Every single thing that we engage in, we can talk to everything. We can work with everything. Is this a solid wall in a building? Yes, it is, but it's made up of the same thing I am, and I can talk to it. You know, we know we're magicians and alchemists. We know this. And we hire these people that are the Illuminati and the 1% and all that other stuff. We hire those people to play the roles that they're playing. And let me tell you something. Some of those people know exactly what they're doing. They're connected, just like everyone here. They're connected, and they know that the role they're playing is going to cause a soul expansion to every one of the people that they come into contact with or that they affect, which is everybody in the world, because we have a beehive intelligence. Okay? You know what I mean? So, the only reason I went longer is because the juice place is supposed to be open at 7, but I guess on Sunday they open every day. Do the best you can. Don't let this world slow you down. Don't let anyone, nobody tell you you can't do something, tell you you aren't something. Don't let anybody stand in your way. And just remember, every act of love is an act of fear, and every act of fear is an act of love. They're the same damn thing, okay? They're the same thing. You know, we are the 0-point field. We contain both ends of the spectrum, every single one of us. We contain every single end of the spectrum and everything in between. We've been lied to by ourselves. We designed this to forget ourselves. And we created this thing where we think that the 0 point is a little thin blue line, right? And it's not. It goes from one end of the spectrum to the other. A perpetrator is a victim. An empath is a narcissist. And if there's any polarity that you do not identify with, or you over-identify with another one, then you're standing in the midst of the illusion that we've all been in, and it's time to come out of it now. Not because we all want to, you know, be like Enoch and fly up into heaven. Heaven's right here. It's right under our feet. Everything's under our feet. Everything's upside down. We keep looking up there at the stars. That's just a reflection of everything coming from here. That's not telling us what our future is. We're telling us what our future is. And then that's like a projector, and it puts it out there, you know? Hell yeah. All right. 7s are big, and I'm standing at 1330, which is, that equals a 7. And I'm also looking at, 4444, which is big right now, and I don't know why, and I don't even know what it means, but I just know it's big. Well, everybody, I hope to see you at the Soulogy Fest, Houston, Texas, December 8th, 9th, and 10th. Hope to see you at the SoulogyNetwork.com, where people are coming in. As of yesterday, we've been setting this thing up. We're going to come in, they're going to create their own show. And we're going to have unlimited space. We have unlimited capability of streaming. If you want to do something, you hit me up and you say, and then we'll hook you up and you just create your own show. We're just going to do this, you know, in a typical fashion that Soulogy has always been like. We don't need the spit and polish. We don't need the overproduction. We just get in there and we give it a shot. And if the first show doesn't work too well, then you come back and do a second show. And if the idea doesn't work after 3 or 4 weeks, then you come up with a different idea. Or you find someone to collaborate with. There's all these things we can do. You know what I mean? So it ain't going to happen unless we give it a shot. So the next show that's going to happen is Jana Kozar is going to be doing a show. I think it starts tonight. All right, I'm going to go get some juice, get back to work. Hope to see you at Soulogy Fest, Houston, Texas, December 8th, 9th, and 10th. It's going to be huge. It really is. And bigger's not always better. I'm talking energetically, so I'm not counting it by the number of people that come. I'm counting about the energy, and anyone that's been to the first two will tell you the energy was off the charts. It's the real deal, okay? And everybody is a star. Everybody that comes is a presenter and a performer, or conducting a workshop, or participating in however they want to. We will find a space for them to do it. We already got 2 stages, and if we got to get 3, we'll get 3. We're going to film everything, and if you miss somebody on a stage, we'll have film of it afterwards, and you can watch it then. All right? Love you guys. Be good. And remember, I cannot prove to you, and you cannot prove to me, that we're soul. Can't prove it. Can't prove that when we leave here, we're going to fly up into the heavens, or that we're God, or you know what I mean? You can't. Because we're still in the human brain here. Give us that hard evidence. But we know we can prove to each other that we've all been human beings, and that we've all been in pain, that we've all suffered, and we've all experienced trauma, and we've all tried to figure this shit out. That's what we have in common. That's our strength. And instead of trying to hide things from each other, we would we would best serve ourselves by sharing our experiences and bearing witness for each other, right? There's nothing wrong with that, and there's nothing wrong with being a human being. We are the darlings of the universe, and we don't even know it. The ETs say that we are those that forgot they were gods. Well, we haven't forgotten anymore. Peace out.